Welcome to day 85 of the 90-day volunteer recruiting challenge. We are so close, only 5 days away from being done with this challenge. And normally it's Monday. Normally I like to do a Monday update, but today I'm not going to do the update because we're getting so close to the final. I don't want to give away where we're at yet. Now I'm going to give you a number how many new volunteers that we recruited this week or people that I'm adding to the list. But I also want to tell you, and one of the reasons I'm not giving an update is because I am also going through my list because I have a handful of volunteers that we've recruited over the last 3 to 5 weeks that some of them, I'm not sure they're going to pan out. I've had another volunteer I just found out about yesterday that said, I don't think this is for me. And so I'm going to do a little bit of an update to the list. So some people are coming off the list, but then I'm adding some other ones on. So I want to talk to you about what's happened in the last week. So because I knew that this challenge was coming to an end, I've been getting more intentional about, okay, have I counted everybody? Are there people that I've been counting that I shouldn't have been counting? Are there people that I should have been counting that I haven't been counting? So I'm trying to do just an audit of where we are. And so one of the things that I did was I pulled up our planning center scheduling or planning center services schedules to look at the plans over the last 5 or 6 weeks, and I'm comparing it to my list that I've been keeping for the last 90 days, and I have found some people that snuck in that evaded my process. And I would say that some of it's the result of there's been some messiness to my process. It's not as clean and as dialed in as I would like. Part of my goal is over the next month, over the holidays, and before we get back to January and we start kind of getting into a prime time to recruit more volunteers, I need to clean up some of my systems because I have some people who have definitely fallen through. I'll kind of explain a handful of people that I have right now, but here's the total number. This week, now 2 people I added to the schedule this week. 2 teenagers, 2 7th graders, I believe the 7th graders, who wanted to start serving. They had friends in the 7th grade that were also serving in preschool, and they found me and they said that they want to start serving. So they are being added to the schedule. 2 new volunteers who are going to serve every week in preschool. But I also found a handful of other people that snuck through the process that did not go on my regular process. So total, I'm adding 9 more people. Now, let me clarify. I'll kind of explain because you might think well, that's convenient that you're adding 9 people here in the last week. But let me add a couple of them. One here is my boss's wife, who is an educator, and she went to a church similar to that does large group, and she used to be a storyteller at her last church. And so she came on to become a storyteller for me. So she serves once a month at 2 services. So I put her down as a 0.5 volunteer. She's not weekly, but she does serve 2 services once a month. So I'm putting her down as half of a volunteer. I also recruited my coordinator, her son, once we moved into the new room. He started about 3 weeks ago, started shadowing our tech team, and the last 2 weeks he's been there and he's learning to do audio. And so, but he wasn't on my radar. I still don't think he's actually finished an application yet. And so, but he is on the roster. He's showing up, he's being scheduled, and so he's there. I've got another guy that just started serving in worship, and he serves in our student ministry. He graduated from student ministry 2 years ago, and so he serves every week at the 11:15 service, leading worship and also helping out with the 2nd grade small group. Let's see, these 2 girls that just started volunteering last week. I have my youth pastor and my youth pastor's wife, who just recently, about 2 weeks ago, said they would serve as a check-in volunteer at my 11:15 service. My youth pastor, he's not super consistent. I just put him down as half. Sometimes he also drums, and so sometimes he's drumming. So he's about half, but his wife is there every week serving, and that's awesome. Then I have another lady who serves on Wednesday nights. She and her husband just started. I didn't count him because I'm not really counting my Wednesday night people in this challenge, but she just decided to start serving on Sundays as well. And she's here every Sunday. And then last of all, my previous coordinator, right before, maybe about a month before I started this challenge, I brought on a new coordinator, the coordinator who stepped off staff. She kind of took a month or two off to kind of get readjusted to life outside of staff. And about a month ago started serving again. Didn't run a background check on her and application because we already had that because she's a staff member, but she just came on. So that's 9 people that I had missed. They didn't come through an orientation. Now some of them still need to, and that's debatable about what we'll do, but that's 9 more people. Weekly equivalents, because I've got my youth pastor, I'm only counting as half. This my boss's wife, I'm only counting her as half. So it counts as 8 weekly equivalents. I have audited and I think I found everybody. Now I have some subtractions to do. I've got some people who came through my process and did not make it onto the volunteer team. So over the course of the next several days, I'm going to be finalizing my audit. And then as soon as we finish this 90-day challenge, I'm going to do a reporting of how many people do we actually recruit and how many of them, how many weekly equivalents did I actually get. So stay tuned. That number's coming.